Greetings to everybody in YouTube land. It's time to take a quick look at weeks 21 through 25 of the 2015-2016 Palm Coast Lanes Friday Night Mixed. Week 21 in the third position round of the Friday Night Mixed would turn out to be a really good one. The biggest battle would have Joe's Aces barely escaping with 5 over the L's and C's, taking total wood by just 9 pins and preventing Scott Cooper's bunch from building up an almost insurmountable lead. The Steelers would walk away with 5 against Guys and Dolls, helped by a strong Mark Joe performance. Up Your Alley wouldn't need any secret weapons, and they would end up taking 7 over the Turtle Lickers. Taking total wood for just the third time in 13 weeks, the Sandbaggers would take 5 from Highly Medicated in their fourth battle between the two teams. Sue Johnson would rip an awesome 219, but the Alley Cats would get the win, taking 5 from Mark It Up. And in one of the season's best battles, the 5 Stars would take 5 and total wood by just 2 pins over the Oddballs, where the maximum margin of victory was 14 pins. Overall, it was the best position round so far. In week 22 of the Friday Night Mix, there would be 2 rematches from the position round, and the L's and C's wouldn't be able to extend their lead. The Alley Cats would take 5 from Mark It Up again, as Dog Wolf blew it wide open late. The Steelers would take 4 over Guys and Dolls in a much closer battle than in the previous week. The Sandbaggers came through as David Evans' sweet 265 gave his bunch 5 over the Turtle Lickers as John DiMartino struggled. The Oddballs would easily take care of Up Your Alley, aided by a strong Sandra Berry performance. Joe's Aces would take 5 over the 5 Stars as James DiStefano ripped another outstanding series, and the L's and C's would lose ground, taking only 2 from Highly Medicated. Scott Cooper's 255 was key to having his team not get swept. In week 23 of the Friday Night Mix, the battles were mostly kinda close or blowout. Doug Stoley did very well, but the L's and C's were too much for the 5 Stars as they took 5. And in probably the season's biggest upset so far, for the first time all season, Mark It Up would take 7 from Joe's Aces as Lou Paliuca nearly ripped a 600 series. The Turtle Lickers would bounce back and take 5 over the suddenly struggling Oddballs. And while Bud Geisy struggled, his Steelers still ended up taking 5 over Up Your Alley. Highly Medicated would barely escape with 5 over the Alley Cats, taking total wood by just 10 pins, and the Sandbaggers would use Ed Gustafson's superb 245 game to take 5 over Guys and Dolls. The L's and C's practically gained all the ground they lost, but they have to battle Joe's Aces again. Would they continue their winning ways? Week 24 of the Friday Night Mixed would be a historic one. Amanda Heiser would steal the show in a way no female bowler in the history of Palm Coast Lanes had ever done before. In Game 2, she would head into the 10th frame with 9 strikes in a row. Would she bowl a 300? She would also rip a 248 and 263 game for an unbelievable 800 series! Needless to say, her Up Your Alley would blow out Guys and Dolls. The L's and C's would hang with Joe's Aces, taking 3, losing minimal ground, aided by Scott Cooper's superb 267 game. The Turtle Lickers would take 5 from the Steelers in a close but ugly battle, while David Evans would rip another 250 plus in his Sandbaggers win over the Oddballs. Mark It Up has been better than in weeks past, but Highly Medicated would take 5, and the 5 Stars would hold off a great Jeffrey Twombly performance, taking 5 over the Alley Cats. It took at least 35 years for a female bowler to shoot an 800 series, and I don't think we'll have to wait till the year 2051 for the second one. Week 25 of the Friday Night Mix would mark the start of the season's final 10 weeks, and a lot of bowlers would come through for their teams. The L's and C's would struggle, taking only 2 from Mark It Up as Robert Yaloa impressed. but Joe's Aces couldn't capitalize, taking just 2 from the Alley Cats. A very strong Game 2 would prove to be the difference maker here. Highly Medicated would use another terrific Bill vs. performance and take 5 for the 4th straight week, this time over the 5 stars. Guys and Dolls would recover from history being bowled against them, and they would blow out the Oddballs. And Up Your Alley would take 5 from the Turtlickers, who had roller coaster-like consistency. Finally, the Sandbaggers would take 4 from the Steelers in one of the highest scoring matchups of the season. And that'll do it for the 5th 5-week stretch that was in the Friday Night Mixed, and I'll do another summary 5 weeks from now. And until then, so long for now!